Okay everybody, this is my 1996 Honda Four-Trax 300. It is a four-wheel drive. Let's do a little walk around here. I believe I am the third owner, with the second owner being a very brief ownership from a man that I found online out of Macomb, Mississippi, and he was in a hunting club with an older gentleman that I believe purchased this new. And as you can see, I really believe this is, if not the cleanest 300 for sale right now, at least in the whole country, at least anywhere in the South that I can find for sale. And you can really tell that by how nice a shape the plastics are in, all the original stickers and everything. You know, they've got, it's been used, but original seat, one little nick in it right there. The man that had it had kept it out at that hunting camp its whole life, and it was always parked underneath a shed. And you can really tell it never got the sun damage that most of these have with bad faded or cracked plastics. Also tell it was pretty well taken care of. At least always had good non-ethanol gas put in it. I don't know how good of a shot you can get there, but usually these tanks are rusty and that gets in the carburetors and just really hurts these. About the only thing that can hurt these. But I haven't done anything to that tank. It's in mint condition. It also has a light bar installed on the handlebars. You can see it also has a switch right there. It's brand new. It has a wiring harness with fuse and relay properly installed and all tucked away and hidden. It also has a 2,500 pound remote operated winch installed with a bracket specially made to fit this model. It also has a snatch block on it. So I know 2,500 pounds isn't the biggest winch you can get, but this four-wheeler is pretty small, and with that snatch block you can double the line back and double that up to 5,000. That should be more than enough to get this thing out of whatever you can get it into. Also, just one thing with these 300s, if you're shopping around, a big thing you can tell if one's been taken care of or not been taken care of is if it has this side cover. These also always seem to go into a black hole somewhere in the ownership, but it covers the Kickstarter, which does work. But just, I'll put that up there for now. Just having that it lets you know that this was pretty well taken care of. It also has the foot guards, something else on these older four-wheeler models, especially if you know, you got big boots on, or you may be looking at this for your son or grandson or something. It's very dangerous if you don't have these foot guards for your foot to slip down, and you can actually break your ankle if you fall off the peg. So that's a nice addition. It also has bark busters up here, or CV boot protectors right here. And one of the other big things, if you're looking at some other 300s, is the rubber boots on these CVs will get poked by a stick or they'll dry rot, and these are all in good shape. No leaks, no weird noises from the axles or anything like that. It also has this drop basket on the back. It's pretty deep, maybe about a foot deep, so good to carry some extra gear. These tires, I was told they were bought last year, and you can tell, I mean, 99% tread on these. You can really tell a lot of these by that front corner if I can get to focus here, the front corner is still sharp on these. You know, they hadn't been run down the road or anything like that. Just also doesn't have huge mud tires on it where you know someone has, you know, gone off and dropped this thing in a river somewhere. Just something to get you home at the hunting camp. But also right now, this drop rack, I just have it kind of zip tied on here. It's not the cleanest thing in the world, but it gets the job done. And I mean, I can put my whole weight on this and it doesn't break them or anything. But the reason for that is so it's easy to lift up like this, because anyone that knows anything about these bikes knows that it has a little storage compartment right here. And this one, like everything else on this bike, is super clean. Still has the original toolkit and the original owner's manual in there that is dry. So this thing has obviously never been sunk. Also, coming around here, well, you won't be able to see it because this panel is on, but underneath this panel is a brand new sealed gel cell battery. That's the best kind of battery you can get for these. I know if you know old school batteries, you had to fill up with liquid. This one is totally sealed. It's brand new. Also in the air box, I left this air box. Obviously I cleaned up this bike. I did not touch this air box. As you can see, it's still got dirt on top of it. On the inside, you can see I left it like this for a reason, and that's because a lot of these bikes that have been abused, one place a lot of people forget to clean is the air box. And if they've been dunked in mud or water or something, it'll be really, really nasty in here. You can see, said he got a new filter last year. It's got a little bit of splatter on it, but down in the bottom of this box, there is no evidence of water or mud or anything like that. Like I said, I cleaned up this bike a little bit. The wheels have been repainted. They weren't very bad when I got them, but it was an easy thing, and those aren't just, rattle canned like everybody else does. Those wheels were removed. The rust was sanded off of them. They were sprayed with a rust converting primer that actually stops the rust and makes a better paintable surface. And then they were sprayed with black enamel on both sides, which will harden into a very durable finish. Also painted the guards in the front. Probably taken the most abuse after going through years of food plots and everything else. So was able to take those off, refinish them the same way, and also used stainless steel U-bolts to remount them to the control arms. The ones that were on there were not stainless, and they had to be cut off, but these I replaced them with stainless. And also the light bars mounted with stainless U-bolts as well. Other than that, probably the only cons to this whole bike is, obviously it was used for what it was intended to be used for. So it was driven to the food plot and back and parked underneath a shed. That was great for the top side of it. Not as great for the bottom side of it. It does have a little bit of surface rust here and there. It's nothing critical or anything structural, but obviously it was something that was rode and not super thoroughly cleaned on the bottom end every single time it was put up. I also, I could have rattle canned over that like half the other ones you'll see people. This whole back end of it will just be spray painted black, and like that might look pretty, but unless I can do it right, like I did the wheels, where I removed the wheels, actually corrected the rust and repainted them, I wasn't going to do that to every single little part underneath here, and I think this is just a way to leave it honest. I don't see a problem with it. I'd be a lot more worried if it was sprayed over and I couldn't tell if it was bad or not. Clearly this is a four-wheel drive. These four-wheelers, if you don't know anything about them, they are full-time four-wheel drive. That means that there's no two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive selector switch. It is always in four-wheel drive. That makes it a little hard to turn around on the pavement and stuff, but it's nice to have where if the going gets rough, it's already in four-wheel drive. Probably the only other con I can think about with this thing is that it does have a leaky master cylinder. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Has a leaky master cylinder on the front brake lever. Previous owner, somebody obviously tried to get in here and strip the screws out of it. It was something I was gonna work on, and then I realized this is full-time four-wheel drive. That means that the foot brake here and the brake lever over here that actually has the parking brake on it is actually for the rear brake, but it brakes all four wheels. Since all four wheels are locked all the time, that's more than enough brakes for this thing. You can lock up all four wheels with that lever or the foot brake. So I didn't really bother with that either. I guess I can crank it up here. This thing, it cranks very, very easily. Idles very nicely. This was not hot either. I mean, you see I can put my hand on the header. It was not warm before this, other than just backing it out of the garage. I guess I can show you the winch is a wireless winch. It's got this little remote. It's got a little remote here, which is nice. So, you know, if you're pulling to a tree very far away and you want to put some tension on it or something, I don't know if this will focus, but you hold down the middle button for a couple seconds till that light lights up, and you can extend it or retract it. So, just a nice little feature. This is brand new too. Never even been used. Just put it on there because it's something I think every four-wheeler should have. But other than that, it's a little bit loud because the airbox is open, but also you can kind of see the light bar at night. It's kind of dusk here. Here are the stock headlights. That's the stock headlights, and that's the light bar. So plenty of light. Other than that, you can look for this for sale. Either you're finding this on my Facebook post or Craigslist post close to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Thank you very much.